Hello lovely Flosstube friends, welcome to all my new subscribers. Can't believe that it's been so long since I've done a monthly update. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, tick the little bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, let's do this. What can I say? It feels so refreshing to do an update video. It feels like I can't, well, it was that bad I couldn't even remember what I last spoke about in my last monthly update. So I had to watch back my last video just so that I could remind myself of what I've shown you, what I haven't shown you, and what I've actually been doing. So yeah, it's good stuff. Let me move a little closer, that's it. So much to talk about and nothing but whips. Whips, 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 whips. So great stuff. I have a massive pile of stuff over here, right here. So we're working from the trusty planner, which I have to say is my new best friend because it's just keeping me so on the ball and so on the money, which is great. I think we'll start with the FO. Now, I watched my last monthly video back and I thought I'd shown you this because it was a finish back in December. But when I looked at my last video, I can't find anywhere where I've actually shown you that I've completed this. So I was like, oh, I'm sure I showed that. But I think what I did was I posted it on my blog and I think I might have posted pictures of it on Instagram. So my plan was to show you this as a fully finished object. Best laid plans. There's a reason for that. So basically, I got all the stitching done. I finished the beading. I was super excited. But obviously, there's not very many places close by that I can go and find fabric to actually fully finish it. So I went online and decided that I'd see if I could find some fabric. Saw some fabric online that I thought would match the colours. Ordered it and this turned up, which is just some white cotton fabric. White cotton fabric. Pink fabric. It's not supposed to be pink. It's supposed to be like a mauvey lilac-y colour. So that was what I was going to finish it with. Obviously, I can't finish it with that because it's the wrong colour. There's the problem with ordering things online. So you'll remember I did the Hardanger Loopy-Loo Designs beginner Hardanger piece. Here it is. That was the one that I was stitching. And here it is, finished but not fully finished because, does it if I don't show it to you backwards? Because the material that I bought to finish it isn't the right colour. And please ignore my nails. I'm due to have a dancing competition next Sunday and I'm not getting my nails done now and then have to get them redone again later in the week. So, here it is, fully finished. Well, say fully finished, not fully finished. It's FO'd. So, the last bit that I had to do was the bars to wrap them. So, I wrapped all the bars, I put the beads on, and I love it. And I was trying to think of how I wanted to finish it. And at first I was thinking maybe a little pillow because it's so small. I was thinking, you know, if I fold it, it's not actually that big. So I was thinking, well, that could be a nice little pillow. But then I was thinking, well, where am I going to put a little pillow? So if I folded it, it would only be this big. So I was thinking that would look nice as a little pillow. So I'm still undecided of whether I'm going to do it as a pillow or whether I'm going to do it as a little flat finish with sort of a mounted on some mat board with another colour around the outside and just stand it on one of those little easel stands. So what do you think? Pillow? Pillow or an easel stand thing? I'll go with the majority. I was thinking the flat thing, but then looking at it now, a little diddy pillow would look good, wouldn't it? But then I'd have somewhere to put the pillow. So, I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. The fabric's a blot. See, look at the difference in colour. There's no way I could make anything out of that. So yeah, that wasn't a very good purchase on my part. So 1 FO waiting to be FFO'd. Yay me! But that was done and completed in 2018, so whips, 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 whips. I have been rather busy with them, so I'm going to just show them to you in a random order. If I've got footage of when you last saw it, I will show that as well, but if I haven't, then you won't see it. So you remember that I'm not overly keen on this one because I didn't really like the amount of threads that were going through the fabric. So the one that I'm talking about is the Rosewood Manor Spring Quaker, which is really out of my natural comfort zone anyway. So it's one of those things I wouldn't normally have stitched. So that's the one that I'm stitching. I was struggling with it in the Q-snap, so I decided that I would put it on a frame and give it another go. Surprisingly, it is better on the frame than it was the other way. So here we are. This is how far I've got. So I finished the first little motif, did a bit of writing and did a little bit down there. I like it, but there's a lot of like, you know, do a few stitches, change the colour, do a few stitches, change the colour. Maybe that's another reason that I'm not, because I'm so used to being able to park a thread so that I don't have to keep finishing a thread. Whereas with this one, you have to finish the thread and then sort of go to another bit. So there's lots of starting and lots of finishing of threads. That said, can't say that I dislike it as much as I did. So it's a bittersweet at the moment. We're still sort of, the jury's still out on this one, but we're going to continue. So that is my Rosewood Manor Quaker. Excuse me, I just need to have a little slurp of my coffee. You'll notice my little mug. It's a King Charles Spaniel mug. There's a reason for that. So today is the anniversary. I think it's the 3rd year anniversary of losing my little Poochie Chester. So this time 3 years ago we lost him. And the little picture, I had this cup when I had him, and this little picture reminded me of him when he was a baby. So it's like a little memorabilia cup today. His little co-star, Fudge, is chilling and sleeping. So, right, what's next? So next one is my Mirabilia. So this is the lovely Andromeda. Let's picture. Picture. And I think the last time I showed this, I sort of stitched so far and then thought, something doesn't seem quite right, and I couldn't quite work out what was wrong. And I always try and leave the skin till later in the project because, well, just because it's 1/1. But I thought, you know what, I think I need to sort of backtrack a little and do a bit more skin to sort of fill in the side to see whether I could work out where it was going wrong. Now that I put the skin in, I'm questioning whether I've actually got it right or wrong anyway. So I can't find where it's gone wrong. So where have we done? So basically, I have been working here on this section, putting the skin in, which is one of those jobs that takes forever. So although there doesn't appear to be a lot there, there's a lot of actual time there, purely because it is that 1/1. So that is where we've got to. And this one is being stitched on, she says, Chromatic Alchemy Cyrus 28 count Lugana. So it's had a bit of love, but after all that 1/1 skin, I was like, oh, I need to switch that out because I get a bit bored with skin, but it's definitely getting there. So that is the lovely Andromeda. I need to try and remember to put all this stuff back as I'm going, because I get all out of sorts and unorganised otherwise. Next up is my lovely Alternative Reality by Heaven and Earth Design. There we go. And where did we get to? I don't know if I did I do any more on this? Do you know what? I'm not going to bother showing you Alternative Reality because it's exactly the same place that it was last time we saw it, because I haven't started any more. So I'm going to definitely make sure that that gets in the whip rotation for this month to make a start. And I have made the decision that I'm going to start across the top. I'm going to go across here. I think that was why I'd sort of held back on it, was because I was still undecided, do I go down or do I go across? Do you know what? I thought I'd done some more on her. There you go, just goes to show you. At least in December, before I was tracking everything. Oh, see, I'm saying about this new facility thing, and I haven't been telling you everything that I need to tell you. So, let's have a look. So, Andromeda in January got 4 days stitching on it. The Spring Quaker, that was 2 days work. But when I say 2 days, not 2 full days, it's just that I've stitched on it 2 days of that month. See, it's my new, what I've stitched on how many days. Love it. So next up is, where to go now? Where should we go? Let's go to my lovely New Start. You haven't seen this because this was my New Start back in December. I think it was December. Yes, I did, because I made it my New Start. Or was it a New Year New Start? No. When did we start it? Should we have a look? I'll probably edit all this out so you don't see all this. So yeah, this one was started on the 30th of December. So this is Heaven and Earth Design Mini Red Queen Red Dragon. Here she is. That's what she'll look like. And this is where we got to. Now, I have a confession to make, people. So you remember we done a Let's Pick a Haid, and I said I wanted one to do 10 stitch on 25 count and one to do full cross 1/1 on 25 count. Well, the confession was I did start one. I started it once on 25 count 1/1. But then my lovely friend, Mary Perkins, whilst on a conversation, like while having a chat with me, turned around and said, oh, have you tried doing 10 stitch on the 28 count? And I went, what 28 count? She was like, oh, they do this 28 count magic guide. She's like, I've got some, but it's too small for my eyes. You can take it off my hands if you want to. Of course, I jumped at that. I got it. And I'd already started Mini Red Queen Red Dragon on 25 count 1/1. Or did I? No, it was 25 count 1/1. And then I thought, you know what? I might just put a few stitches in 28 count and do it 10 stitch and see what it comes out like. Do you know what? I like it so much that I've now decided that I am now doing Mini Red Queen Red Dragon 10 stitch 2/1 on 28 count magic guide. And this is where we got to. And I love it. I love the coverage. It's still it's more difficult than 25 count 10 stitch, but the coverage is better. So I do like the coverage more on this because you can't see a thing through there. But yeah, so New Start, you know, Had to do the whole confessions bit, but it needed to be tent stitch because I needed to try the 28 count. And there was no way I was going to do 1/1 full cross on 28 count because, well, just because I wasn't going to. So I know I said I would do it full cross, but given that the fabric came up, the opportunity to try 2/1 tent stitch on a smaller piece. She's a mini anyways, and I am liking, I think what threw me, what changed my mind to go from the full cross to the tent stitch was how fast the Peacocks Lagoon was stitching up. That one is 2/1 on 25 count Magic Guide, and you can go crazy with it, and it stitches up so much faster. Well, so far it does, but then it's lots of block colour so far. But it does, I'm finding that it stitches up much quicker than a full cross does. So there you go, that's my reasoning around it, and I'm sticking with it. So next up, we're down to the last two. This is going to be the fastest video alive. Next up is the lovely Peacocks Lagoon. Again, Heaven and Earth design. This one is stitched, here it is. This one is being stitched on 25 count Magic Guide, tent stitch 2/1. And this is where we've got to. She says if I can get to it. Come on, big fella. And I'm still absolutely loving this. But you'll see what I mean since the last time we saw it. There it is. And that is 2/1 tent stitch on 25 count. Look at my little moon. I can't believe my little moon is almost there. It's almost out. But this is so much easier. Well, this one specifically is really easy to work on when I come home from work. If I'm tired and I've got tired eyes, but I still want to do a spot stitching, it's such an easy stitch. Because, well, just because it is. So loving that, loving it. So there you go. And I've done quite a lot on that, considering. The last time you saw it, we had a page finish, and then we've now done, I don't know, I think I've got about half a page to go to finish another page. And that one I stitched, how many days did we stitch? So we stitched 6 days at Peacocks Lagoon. The mini red queen red dragon got 5 days, but bearing in mind I'd already started it on one count and then switched it to another count, so it's questionable. What else? Then we've got my lovely train project, of which I've been doing quite a bit of commuting, so it has had a bit more love. So this one, come on. So this one is the Cricket Collection Spring, this one, if I can stop the glare. This one is being stitched on Chromatic Alchemy Spring at Lakeside, 28 count Lugana. And it's still on its Q-snap, but it's so close, so close. There's probably loads of bits of floss are going to come falling out of this because I sort of tuck it into the guard, the grime guards, rather than having it floating around in the bag. So this is where we've got to. So we're on, let's see if I can do this. So here we are. So as you can see, I've finished the N, I've finished the daffodils, I've almost finished both tulips, and I'm now on the last letter. Super exciting stuff. Love this one. Can't wait to get it finished, however. So yeah, we've got, yeah, just that G to go. So obviously I've done this, I've just started here, so I've just got this little bit to go, a couple of little infill bits, and it's done. So, and at the moment, as soon as that one is finished and I've done it, I think I'm going to start on my shoes to get those finished. Then I can start on the summer version of this. And I'm still undecided, because obviously I left so much fabric at the bottom. I might use the same fabric for summer, or I might pick a different colour. But at the moment, there's no reason to waste that fabric. And I think the summer one will go on this fabric as good as the spring one does. So this one, how many mornings have I worked on this? Now bearing in mind, this is a commuting one. So normally, whilst I'm commuting on my train, I'll stitch for a portion, or I'll stitch for most of the journey, and then I'll stop and check my emails just before we're getting off the train. So normally around between 40 and 45 minutes I will stitch on the train. And that one has had 16 mornings of stitching in this month. January, sorry, not this month, because it's February now. Come on, Teresa, stay with it. So love that. Can't wait for a finish. I've just thrown that on the floor, so I'll catch that later. And then finally, she says, my lovely Evening in the Park by Chatelaine. Now, the way the chatelaines are supposed to be stitched, hold that thought, I need to go and get the chart. Hello, I'm back. Nothing like having everything in one place and right where you need it, is there? Okay, so the chatelaine, Evening in the Park, this one. That's the one we're stitching. The way they're designed is that she does the chart so that you do one section, and you do all the corners of that section, and then you move around and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, I'd sort of done quite a lot, but then when you stitch the same thing over and over 4 times, it's like by the time I got to the 4th time I was like, really not feeling that now, because I've just done 3 lots of those. So I took the bull by the horns. There's bits that still need finishing in other areas, but I became impatient, and because I am that way, I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to move on and work on another bit, and then I'll come back to it when I feel like it, so that I can do it bit by bit. So this, oh God, is where we've got to. So here she is. Here it is, it's not she, is it? Although it is a she to me. So the last time you saw it, I'd done 3 of the swans, I'd done the waffle stitches, and I'd finished the little trees. Okay, so that was where we got to. Now, although I'd finished the trees, I finished all the stitching, but I hadn't put, so which bit is it? So this tree here has got beads on it, and this corner has got all the beads on it. This corner doesn't have any of the beads on it. The top doesn't have the beads. This side has beads here, but the 2 trees don't have the beads. So there's a bit of beading to be done on these sections. And obviously I started the swan here and I just got a little bit bored of the swan. So I decided I would move on. So let me see if I can bring this right forwards so that you can get a real good look. So here we are. This is obviously the section I've mostly been working on. So like I said, there's still beading to be done. That beading's done there, but the tree hasn't been done. That corner there has been done with the beads, as you can see. These haven't. So this section needs beading, as does that. That needs beading, as does that. And just the 2, oh, that tree's beaded. That tree still needs doing. But this is the section that I've been working in the top right-hand corner. Love that. I thought I'll do this little section here, then I'll finish my swan, then I'll do the section there, and then I'll bead across, is my plan. Just so that I had something different. But I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Do you know what? Each part of these chatelaines is just something a little different. each time you sort of do something else, it's just different, which I like. So, I mean, yes, okay, you could say, well, you know, it takes a while to get this bit stitching done and to do all these swans, but slowly but surely, you do get there. What else hasn't been done? Oh, right, yeah. So you'll see on, which one is it? So this one here, you can see has got the flowers around it, as does the one at the bottom. This one over here has got one bit and I haven't finished that, so that needs to be done as well. So yeah, so I've basically ventured outside of like the guide of where I'm supposed to do it, and to sort of keep it in each section, but I don't think that really matters. As long as I go back and actually do it, it's fine. But love it. Just needed a bit of a change. Just wanted to work on something slightly different within the design, just so I could sort of, because I'm starting to get really impatient with it, because I can't wait to get to the gates. Like the black, I think they're black gates. Let me see if this, see if I can show you. So, yeah, so let me see if how close am I going to be able to get you to this. So that's the design, and obviously at the moment I'm working in this little corner here. And then you've got like a band that goes all the way around, and that's where the gates are, and then you've got your trees and stuff on the top. So when you actually look at it like that, it's, yes, okay, I've got the four corners to do, but once I get past those, it's just, oh, just so impatient, so impatient. So number of days on evening in the park. So that section, that corner that I've done is 3 evenings worth of stitching. So that's, oh, and half the swan, obviously. So there you go. That's it. We're done. So done. I'm loving the tracker. I think it's doing fabulously. And the fact that it's, well, it's a bit like sort of, because I'm writing in how many days I'm working on things, if I'm sort of looking at it, I'm like, oh God, that only got, you know, that's only had sort of three days or less than 3 days stitching. It is making me say, right, okay, well, I'm going to put this one down and I'm going to give that one just another day or so of love, just so that I know everything's had a bit more love. So love that idea. And whereas normally, because I'm not really tracking when I'm stitching things, it's just as and when I fancy it, it doesn't remind me that something else might have only had 1 day stitching, because my mood was taking me for that one. So, but by keeping them all on their frames and not taking them off of the actual frames is another good thing. Sometimes I can be a bit lazy, that because it's not already on a frame, I'll think, oh, I can't bother to sort of take one off and put one on. So the fact that I've now got a lot of frames and allows me to keep them all on the frames, and all I have to do is stick the stretch bars in and off I go. Yeah, super helpful. So what else to say? Checking on my notes here. My make or breaks this month. So obviously my make is my chatelaine, because it's just like that whole diving into another area after being stuck in that little section for so long. It's just so refreshing, and it's so, I just don't want to put it down. I'm really struggling to sort of like put it down and do anything else, because it's just, I'm in love with it. So that's definitely my make. Break, I think the Quaker. I mean, you think it took, I can't remember how many days I said I stitched on this. And when I say days, we're talking like, I come in from work at say 7, half 7. By the time I've done some dinner, it's maybe 8:30, 8:45, and I've been down and seen my mum or whatever. So some days I'll only stitch for half an hour on these pieces. So this is probably one where I only sort of had half an hour, which you'd think, because of the way that it is, and that it's like you can do like little motifs and you can do a portion of it and then stop, that it would work easier for me. But I'm not finding that, because I'm finding that all the stopping and starting, I spend more time stopping and starting than I do actually stitching. So it's definitely, if that's the amount of progress that I've got on it, it's, And I forgot to say what this was stitched on. This is stitched on, what is it stitched on? It's on pot puree, I don't think I've got the... No, I haven't got the little bag. The name of the fabric is Pot Puree. If I can remember, I'll find out what it is. I'll put it in a link at the bottom here. But yeah, I think this one is again a break. Because obviously as soon as I got it out, I'd done a couple of bits on it, was up, put it away again. But I will persevere. Maybe it's because I'm in love with so many other projects at the moment that it's just because I'm not as in love with that one as I was with everything else, that's the reason that one's had less love from me. Also, had some comments from one or two of my videos. A lady called Carmen contacted me about whether I could do a hardanger tutorial. I would love to say yes, I'll do a hardanger tutorial for you, but I don't really know enough myself. I could do a stitch with me hardanger so that we can do it together, you know, or anyone else that wants to have a go at a hardanger piece and we just happen to be doing hardanger at the same time. I could start doing some video of me doing my hardanger pieces, but I could never say that I could do a tutorial for you because I'm not knowledgeable enough. I mean, I'm still very much a beginner. So yeah, maybe one day when I'm, you know, 60 and I've been doing hardanger for years and I'm a true expert at it of some description, then maybe I would do one. And the lovely Tina Stitches said she's doing, or she has the Sleeping Beauty chatelaine waiting in the wings. As long as you're not planning on stitching it anytime soon, we might have to do that as a start together if you like. But I can't commit yet because obviously I do need to finish my evening in the park first before I do that. What else to tell you? Finally, last but not least, some stitchy kindness received. So I haven't had a chance to contact the person to find out if she minds if I mention her name. So I'll only say her first name, so as not to, because obviously I haven't asked her if it's okay. But her name is Debbie. She contacted me on Messenger and asked if she could send me something. So of course I said she could and that she's naughty, but if she really wants to, of course I will not object. And love her, she was very naughty. So it will sort of give the game away as to where she lives. So she sent me a lovely keyring, which has come all the way from Canada, which is going to go on my car keys. So that's going to be in my Canada. Do you know what? I'd love to go to Canada. Me and my husband have already said that, you know, when the time comes that we can do some real serious travelling. Obviously, we've got so many places in the States that we want to go to, but Canada is right up there on the we have to go there. But that won't be our relaxing holidays laying on a beach in the Caribbean. That will be one of our adventure holidays, which we don't really do adventure holidays because we don't really have enough holidays to do our relaxing. So whenever we do go on holiday, it's like, well, we just want to relax. But when we get to the point that we have more time and we can actually do adventure holidays and relaxing holidays, Canada is going to be the place that we're going to go to. So I have a new keyring. Thank you, Debbie. And I've seen this one, and you know, until you really see it, you don't realise how beautiful it is. But she sent me the lovely At the Met Mirabilia. Would you look at that? Now, I don't think I will stitch it on that called for fabric, personally. I'm not quite sure what I'll stitch that on. I'm still undecided. But it's definitely going to be stitched. It's definitely going into the new start pile. Don't worry about that, because it's just too gorgeous not to. But I think I might have to wait for Andromeda to be finished before I start that one. She was also lovely enough to send me all of the DMC colours that come with this. So the only thing that I need to purchase for this is the beads, the specialty threads, which, what is it? Well, it's just, oh, there's a couple of Karen water lilies in it. There's some Krennic. But obviously I collect the Karen water lilies anyway, so chances are I'll probably have some of those. The Mill Hill beads I'm going to switch out. So there's that conversion that was done. I think Jessie Marie pointed us all in the right direction for it. If not, I'll put the link here somewhere, where I've printed off the Mill Hill beads to delica beads so that I can switch it over. I do like the delica beads. I've got a lot of delica beads anyway. I like the fact that they're more cylinder and less bulbous and round. The holes are much bigger, so you can actually work with, instead of having to use a beading needle for some of them, you can actually use a very, very small embroidery needle, and the eye of the needle will go through the bead. So I will be switching it out for delica beads instead of the Mill Hill beads, purely because I like the shape, I like the symmetricalness of them, and the hole is slightly bigger to actually work with for your needle. So here it is. Lovely stitchy kindness. Debbie, you are so naughty, but it's very much appreciated. And yeah, definitely going to be stitched. Definitely going to be stitched. So thank you so much. There we go, people. That was short and sweet, wasn't it? Just how we like it. So until next time, there will be other videos. So whereas before I only ever done like a monthly update, and that was all I did. The plan for this year going forwards is that I will be doing other videos. There's some other videos that I'm actually looking to upload in the next few days as well, or at least one. So watch this space. So instead of you only getting to see me once a month, you might be seeing me a bit more than once a month, depending on what I can actually do. I've never done a Stitch With Me video, have I? I don't know, what's your thoughts on Stitch With Me videos? Would you like to stitch with me? Or not, as the case may be? If you would like me to do a Stitch With Me video, I mean, maybe I'll do a poll. I don't know, for those of you that are floss tubers, and that are on YouTube quite a lot, there's a new community tab. So I think it's being rolled out across the whole community that are on YouTube. There is a community tab that's been introduced via YouTube, which allows you to sort of connect with your subscribers and with your audience, so to speak. One of the functionalities that it has on it is that it allows for you to send a poll out. So for those that are on your phone or that go onto your YouTube, when you click your home button on the bottom left-hand corner, that sort of gives suggestions. Well, part of the community thing is if I post like a poll where I sort of say to my, I want to reach out to my audience and say, what do you think? Should I do this or should I do that? What would you like to see? It gives them the opportunity to vote. I think it's great. It's great. It's so connective in sometimes I can sit on these videos and ask you a question, and yes, okay, you feed back to me in the comments. But if I'm about to do videos, or I'm thinking of doing the video in the next week or so, and I need to ask the community, what do you think? Would you prefer this or would you prefer that? And then you go with a majority vote. It's great. And it gives you sort of so many options to sort of reach out to people ahead of when you're going to do your video, and to let people know, like your premieres, you can do premieres, so you can let people know that something's coming, you can have a little chat about it. Great little functionality for YouTube, so I'll give that a thumbs up. I'm still working on how to use it, but I did a vote. I had a product review and a monthly update to do this month. And I said, should I combine it and do a monthly update and a product review all in one video, or should I separate it? Hence the reason you're not seeing a product review right now is because the majority said, do it separately. We'd like to see you twice instead of once. So, so there will be another video coming. It will be a product review. I'll leave it all as a surprise for you. But yeah, lovely functionality. I will probably start using that functionality a little more now to see what people want. I'll see what people would like, if you'd like me to do a certain thing. Maybe I should send a poll out and ask the question, Should I do a stitch with me? Would you like to stitch with me? But then, I don't know. See, these stitch with me's, I don't really know. What am I supposed to say to you whilst I'm stitching? Because I'm not very good at stitching and talking, if I'm honest, because I have to spend so much time concentrating. I mean, Michelle, Bendy Stitches, she makes it just look breathable. You know, she can sit and chat and stitch and chat. And I sit there and think, how does she do that? How does she actually sit and talk and still not lose count of where she is or what she's doing? So big up to all of those people out there that do the stitch with me and they just talk randomly and just, you know, not a problem, not care in the world. So I don't know. Maybe we'll try it. Maybe I'll put a post out on the community to find out whether anyone would want to stitch with me if I've done a stitch with me video. So there you go. Enough rambling from me. That's me done for the monthly update for this month. But like I said, there's another video coming. So watch this space. I will see you all again very, very soon. Please all take care in this this weather. I know that here in the UK, we've been hit with quite a lot of snow. I've also heard that there's quite a bad snowstorm that you're all getting, I think, out in the States. So for all of those, please stay safe. Hope you're all well. Stay nice and cozy indoors. So until next time, bye-bye for now.